Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Welcome to the World United. Today, we are going to have some wisdom sharing on the life and teachings of Sri Mahavatar Babaji. Mahavatar Babaji has been known as a physical immortal, as you all know. If you go into the description of his origins, everything seems to be much mysterious. Everything is hearsay evidence about his life. But the energy of his name, the energy of his presence, the energy of the influence and impact he has created in the present world is tremendously high. All of a sudden, for the past 2 decades, a little more, there has been much talk about this consciousness called as Mahavatar Babaji. He became much popular because of the book Autobiography of Yogi of Yogananda Paramsaji, where Lahir Mahashai, a great master, who is a teacher of Yukteswaragiri. Yukteswaragiri is the teacher of Paramsa Yogananda. Lahir Mahashai in the mid 80s was introduced by Babaji's consciousness into the path of Kriya Yoga. The Kriya Yoga, as you know, has to be understood both from philosophical and practice aspects. When it comes to practice or sadhana, the way Babaji introduced Lahir Mahashai was in 3 levels or 3 stages. To begin with Talabhya Kriya and finally culminates in the 3rd level of Nataraja Kriya. And the constant practice of this Kriya Yoga is very much important for any practitioner to go within. To speak about the philosophical side of Kriya Yoga, it has been described as Tapaswadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhana. Tapas means the intensity. And it is described as Sharirika Tapas, the body level intensity, Vak Tapas, the intensity of the voice, and Mano Tapas, the intensity of the mind. And as per 3 gunas, 3 qualities, or 3 characters, it is also described as the tamasic tapas, which is the lazy man's way of doing penance, Rajasic tapas, the ambitious way of doing tapas, and Sattvic tapas as spiritual person's way of making the penance. This Kriya Yoga, many adepts in the world of spirituality say that it was introduced by Sri Krishna to Arjuna those days. And it was introduced by the first person of the world, Manu, to the king of Ikshvaku. Like Adam, Eve were the first human beings of the world as per Christianity. Sanatana Dharma Shastra says that it is Manu who was the first person of history of mankind in the world, in the planet Earth. So Manu was introduced Kriya Yoga by Vayavashvat, who was introduced by Brahma, the consciousness. So whatever it may be, many people in the world of spirituality believe that Sri Mahavatar Babaji was taken birth in the state of Tamil Nadu, India, the district of Kadalur, Perangipattai village, where we can see the temple of Mahavatar Babaji is still existing, where the temple priests still do the puja, the prayers, to the statue of Mahavatar Babaji. Many people say, what is his name? Is Mahavatar Babaji the name of the person? In India, Babaji, the word Baba means father. Babaji means G, the word G is added as a respect to Baba. Respectful father, respected father, some beloved father, something like that. Mahavatar, everyone is avatar. Avatar means a person who has a reason and a cause for his life is called as avatar. When we say someone has a Mahavatar, it has a great cause, great reason for his birth. So this person, Mahavatar Babaji, when he was asked by Lahir Mahashay what his name was, he refused because he did not want any discussion, description, or energy to be built around his name. And if he reveals his name, it turns into another cult or religion. To avoid this formation of cult and other segregational aspects of sectarian aspects of divisive aspects of spirituality, he deliberately avoided to describe himself as a name. But people who saw him always saw him as a young man, a teenager with brown hair and slim body, a tall, slim young man, 16 to 20 years age, sharp eyes and covered by golden energy field. He was always seen like that, perceived like this. If Babaji comes and appears in any different shape, people won't recognize him. Even if he wants to appear in different form, he won't be recognized. Right? If Jesus comes in a form of a hefty old man with pot belly, can anyone recognize him as a Jesus? So the way Jesus has been pictured or presented by the painters, if he appears like that only, the so-called seekers or disciples can recognize him. Similarly, Mahavatar Babaji is recognized only in the form of a young teenager, slim young teenager with brown hair, long hair. So whatever the descriptions, he has inspired Lahir Mahashay to undergo Kriya Yoga practices, and through him, the entire parampara, the entire hierarchy of Kriya Yogis have been initiated. Now, millions of people across the world are practicing this path of Kriya Yoga. Mahavatar Babaji has been much influential in the formation of the World United as well. In the year 2004, a great hunch, a great feeling has come within me, and he coined the word the World United and told me to start the movement. For 3 years, I just was contemplating about what to do, and only in 2007, 30th November, we started the first World United event titled as National Conference on Spiritual Science, inviting some great, well-known celebrity speakers of those days, 13 years back. And the saga continued to move in the form of the first World Parliament on Spirituality 2012, followed by 2020 Second World Parliament, the third one on virtual platform, the Third World Parliament. And now as a sequel to it, the Global Transformations Festival series are coming up in every country of the world. And next year it is going to continue as VR1 summits, which are going to be the state level or provincial level summits in each and every state and province of entire world. In view of the pandemic season, we are doing only on virtual platform. So whatever it may be, the energy of Mahavatar Babaji has been tremendously high. And he appeared in many forms and at many places in Nepal, China, India. In India, between 1970 to 1984, he appeared as Haidakan Baba. Suddenly, out of nowhere, in a cave, somebody recognizes a person meditating for months together or weeks together, and the village was called as Haidakan, and he was named as Haidakan Baba. And he came out and started practicing in front of the public and started giving his teachings. He told that a person can become immortal if he stops believing in death and disease. So disease and death are self-generated. One who believes in disease and death only get afflicted by them. If a person doesn't believe in death and continues to believe that one can live for 1,000 years or more, like Mahavatar Babaji, anyone can live. So that was the message of Haidakan Baba. For 14 years, he has given strong messages. Babaji says like this: I don't want 12 million people to be influenced by me. I want those 12 great warriors who practice spirituality most diligently, most consistently, and carries the spirit of a spiritual warrior. So I like those type of warrior spirits than 12 million people who are just curious to know so many things about what I'm saying. So he is against all types of laziness. He is against all types of inertia and negligence, and believes in truth, simplicity, and love. So truth, simplicity, and love. The teachings are very, very simple. And he always says that you always think from your head instead of blindly believing what someone says. Think with your head, good or bad, right or wrong, but think from your head. Everything goes right. And once you keep thinking and takes the path of trial and error, the conviction levels whatsoever and the path of spirituality that emerges from within will become stronger and stronger. So Mahavatar Babaji has been influencing so many people by way of giving his visions, darshans, by way of becoming the inspirational force that is coming from within individuals. And he says that Kriya Yoga is a very great path, and it is not the path of meditation, the techniques of meditation that is very important, but the meditation consciousness that happens through meditation technique that is very, very important. The present world has become a spiritual market where the techniques are sold. Techniques can be purchased for $5 or $50 or $5,000. So when spirituality is purchased, like in the form of meditation techniques, can we actually arrive at the spiritual wisdom for which a human being has been born for? It's not possible. It is through diligent practice alone one can become more wise. So people run after meditation techniques, no techniques whatsoever. It is the meditation essence. It is the meditative state of consciousness that is very, very important. So the attention has to move. The attention whatsoever that you keep on something has to move into awareness. This awareness has to move into stillness, and the stillness has to move towards absolute silence. This is the pathway. So he who takes the pathway of silence within, from attention to awareness to stillness to silence, he becomes a yogi, and that's what Babaji wants. And he calls the present changing frequency as great revolution or Mahakranti. So in these, he says so many climatic changes happen, many catastrophes happen, many cataclysms happen. Whatsoever it may be, the human being should not get broken down at emotional level, at physical level, and at any level. He should not be broken down and practice the inner path and internalize the state of consciousness. So from Talabya Kriya, the first step of Kriya Yoga, the Nabhi Kriya, the Antar Pranayama, and so many types of Kriyas later, Nataraja Kriya, Yoni Mudra, Jyoti Mudra. So whatever practice that one undergoes, slowly one has to move within and stay within and never should come out of one's center. That is the ultimate path of Kriya Yoga. And the consciousness, that which is called as the hara, the center of one's being, is normally 2 inches in size and 2 inches inside below the navel. And when this becomes fist size, that is the average spiritual wisdom one can acquire. When hara becomes the size of the human body, the physical body, he becomes physically immortal. That means the consciousness body and the physical body, when they merge into each other, he becomes an immortal. And Mahavatar Babaji leads the wagon of so many physical immortals. So many scientists have come forward to research on these immortality aspects. Many scientists like Leonardo or many scientists from America and Europe have come here to research on the Mahashivratri day in the state of Gujarat, India, in Junagadh district's Girnar forest, and in these places like Ujjain. So many people come here to meditate and research on the physical immortality. Whatsoever it may be, Mahavatar Babaji, I believe, always assists those people who sincerely seek his blessings and his essence of teachings. Thank you very much. And interestingly, on 30th November, when we opened the Devold United, only a few years later, I came to know that it was celebrated as the birthday of Mahavatar Babaji, 30th November. We started a 3-day event in 2007, 30th November, 1st and 2nd December. No one does the event like this, a combination 2 months, like right now, 30th November, 1 and 2 December. So somehow, intuitively, we felt that November 30th is the right day. And only years later, I came to know that it was celebrated as the birthday of Mahavatar Babaji. And thank you very much. And let us keep our consciousness within, find our center, stay there and do all types of spiritual enlightenment activities in the world. Thank you very much.